I'm going to share with you the viral video of a C-SPAN caller who's a three-time Donald Trump supporter who says that the photo of Barack Obama, the image of Barack Obama and Michelle is apes, that Donald Trump was shared on his two social posts over the weekend, I think starting Thursday night, overnight Thursday into Friday, kept up there for 12 hours and was not removed. And he, his press secretary didn't defend it and eventually got removed. And when asked about it, I'm going to tell you what Donald Trump, I'm going to play for you here.
On you to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake. I mean, I look at a lot of thousands of things. I looked at the beginning of it, it was fine. And they had that one post, and I guess it was a takeoff. By the way, a lot of people covered. If you look at where it came from, I guess it was a takeoff on The Lion King. And certainly it was a very strong post in terms of voter fraud. Nobody knew that was at the end. If they would have looked, they would have seen it. And then I gave it to the people. Generally, they'd look at the whole thing, but I guess somebody didn't. And they posted, and we took it down, and we did it. But that was a voter fraud that nobody talks about. They don't like to talk about that post. We took it down as soon as we found out about it.
Four Republicans, even Tucker Carlson, I'm going to play a clip here, called out the president for not acknowledging the severity of the meme and refusing to apologize.
Look at this, guys. This might sound like just another meme video, but it's not a meme anymore. It's a signal. The president's account posted a clip, and near the end it showed Barack and Michelle Obama edited with ape imagery. Then the White House gave mixed responses. One moment, it's just a harmless meme. The next, it's posted by mistake, already removed. And President Trump says, of course I condemn racism, but I'm not apologizing. I didn't do anything wrong. I only watched the beginning of the video. And here's the thing. This isn't about whether you like Obama or hate Obama. The real question is this. If something like this can appear on the president's own platform and be treated like a small mistake, what gets called a small mistake tomorrow? Supporters will say the media is overreacting again, trying to trap the president. But the reality is even some Republicans felt it crossed a line. And maybe the bigger precedent is this. American politics is slowly turning into a war of symbols, insults, and outrage instead of facts. So the question isn't just what happened today. The question is, where are we heading and who actually benefits when we keep getting pushed further apart?
Right now, the MAGA, three-time MAGA voter was really, really like emotional. And here's what his thing. And I want to talk more about his emotion, why that picture was different on the other side. But let me first play him first.
Oh, my word. I am a registered Republican. My dad was the president of American Pipeliners Association, so I came by it rather naturally. Voted for the president, supported him, but I really want to apologize. I mean, I'm looking at this awful picture of the Obamas. What an embarrassment to our country. All this man does is tell lies. He is not worthy of the presidency. He takes bribes blatantly, and now he's being a racist blatantly. They were supposed to deport the dangerous criminals. They were not supposed to go after small children, storm schools, bring terror upon, the little kids and the women and children, not just the immigrants in the school. All the children are scared. This is not a decent man. This is not an honest man. He openly takes bribes. He's pathetic as a president, and I just want to apologize to everybody in the country for supporting this rotten man.
John, did you vote for him in all three elections?
I did. I was sucked into the stupidity of creating jobs and There are no more jobs in New Mexico. Things are worse than they were before. You cannot find a primary care physician. Our governor just passed some laws to try to help. If you are a young physician, we want you in New Mexico. Come here. There's a great need for you.
Okay. So Trump's defense, you saw the MAGA, and what happens, it looks like that MAGA was already Donald Trump's already pushed him to the edge. He's already seen that, the grifting, your life isn't better. And you just see him just grifting and just putting his name and doing absolutely nothing. He's doing absolutely nothing for the people. And they don't see there's nothing he's doing. Their lives are worse and he's doing nothing. And they feel it. And then the thing about deporting criminals, they see what's happened to the children and stuff, and they still consider themselves decent people. Only the most craven, deprived, really super hateful people, they're out there, but I don't think they're the majority. I think they're just a loud, obnoxious folks out there, but they're not the majority people. And so the majority people who are MAGA 1, 2, 3 times, it's like they didn't like that, and we know they weren't going to like that because Project 2025 polled independents, Republicans, including MAGAs and liberals before. And the reason why Donald Trump distanced himself from it is because they were like, we only want you to go after criminals. They really were not interested in them going into the interior and taking people just living there. Some people did, but they didn't vote for that. And they also didn't want the attack of the blue cities. They're like, what's the point of that? The tortures, the killing citizens, because they're trying to say, don't take the people we told you we didn't want them to take. Only the diehards on X, even them, they're fleeting. I'm going to play here right now a slideshow I did of MAGA tweets responding to GOP saying, have a nice day. And it was just flooded with a lot of MAGAs who follow GOP. Was like, what are you doing? This is crazy. This man is not, he's got to go. He's got to go. And then the Epstein file did not help. So he's like, not only is he doing nothing for us, it turns out he's a pedo. And he's just grifting and stealing, and our lives are worse. And he's destroying our relations with our allies, and destroying our name, our good name. And we about make America great, and he's just making America worse. And so they're coming to grips. They're like, this man is crazy. So it's in the backdrop of all of that you had that C-SPAN guy. And so what they're feeling on the tweets, what the C-SPAN guy is feeling is what I said in the previous video, I always keep saying that. Tom Homan is Donald Trump's border czar, who's back in April, the people from his lakefront home vacation in Sackless Harbor, New York, protested him. Up to 1,000 people, including people came from nearby towns, because Border Patrol or ICE took a family, a mom and 4 kids who are beloved, part of the community, the neighbors of their kids, teachers, like their students, and they were like, oh, hell no, this is not what we signed up for. So early on, there were signs that people didn't like this, but the Project 2025 said people were not going to like that. So you shouldn't be surprised that the religious, crazy white people don't want a white Christian fascist nation. They don't want the government dismantled and replaced with a bunch of stupid sycophants who know what the hell they're doing. They don't want the esteem of the United States being destroyed in the world and Donald Trump abandoning their allies and just sitting up there grifting himself. They don't want him suing the IRS for $10 billion because someone from the IRS leaked the fact that he's a tax evader. And because they leaked he's a tax evader, he wants our tax dollars to pay $10 billion. He said he wanted United States taxpayers to pay the rich oil companies to help to help restore Venezuela's oil industry. This is what he said out of his flame mouth. He said it was about oil. When Marco Rubio was trying to say it's just about we're trying to do democracy, I think it was my senator Chris Van Hollen said, "Okay, you say that, but Donald Trump's doing a press release. He only said oil, oil, oil." He said he met with rich oil executives before he struck Venezuela. Immediately after he struck Venezuela, he quickly sold their oil, took $200 million, put it in an offshore account in Qatar, and then gave Venezuelan people $300 million, and then was peace out ghost. Meanwhile, according to Cory Booker said it's still crazy down there. So you're saying you take over, but right now it's still crazy. So what did you take over exactly? And if you took over to be stable, it's not stable. You took over, it's still a mess, and then you leave I think it was Senator Rosen who said, then you left the vice president in place is part of the same regime, the same torturous regime that was torturing people under Maduro. She's still there. Oh no, it was Senator who asked who said it was still there. It was Senator Chris Murphy. It was like, she's still there. So what's the point of removing Maduro if you're going to just put the person there? And I think it was Senator Merkley who said, it looks like you just removed the dictator who was in your way to the oil. Maduro was going to let you get the oil, so you had to go arrest him under pretext of criminal drug thingy. And the fisherman boat bombing was just like a warning, just a warning shot, and to get the local countries like Trinidad and the other fishermen from the little countries around Venezuela to get in line and get behind Donald Trump. So you're blowing up the boats, essentially threatening them to cooperate with you and let their countries be staging grounds for you taking Venezuela's president, to remove him so you can let the vice president, who you can just trample over, allow you to take their oil and leave the country in shambles and have no interest whatsoever in whatever happens to these people after. And then give the contract to fix the oil to one of your top donors. No bid contract, your top donors. I digress. This is a massive digression. But all of that that's in a point. That's a line that the man is not into steal. He's just been stealing, and so yeah. And the thing about let me tell you quick about let me go back on focus with the image, is because I think people. There's different types of racism. People are subtle racist. You have like covert racism. You have overt. You have biases. You have discrimination. Everyone has biases. Everyone has prejudices. Everyone has people discriminate based on race, and it's common. It's based on their experiences. So, for example, if every time you went out and you saw a quiet venue, and there was a loud table, you look every single time the loud table is black people. You're like, oh my God, black people, y'all, those are loud people. And that sounds racist, right? But it's from your experience. And so you don't consider yourself racist because it's from your experience. And you say, I'm a waitress and the black people tip the worst. Or you say, every time I go out, if I am a nurse, and the families that come in the large families are always Hispanic, lots of families. You could say it's prejudice, it's discrimination, it's a stereotype to say they have large families. They're always pregnant, which all these are prejudices, all these are stereotypes, all of these are discriminatory, bias-based decisions. But people can justify it by saying, it's my opinion, it's my experience, it's based on my observation. And it's not only because, I'm not saying this out of racial animus or hurt. I'm not saying this to hurt the other race. I'm just acknowledging something, and that's it. That's what they tell themselves. But to post a photo to showing someone for no reason, and especially someone who's a former leader who's respected, and their wife, and to post a photo of them and diminishing and dehumanizing them in that worst way is overt racism. Like cross burning is overt racism. Like going after and like unaliving somebody specifically just because you don't like them because of their race. That's overt racism. That is the worst kind. And people who do covert, subtle biases, discrimination, things like that in their lives, recognize the differences. And so they know there's a line, and Donald Trump crossed that line. And he crossed the line in the worst possible way as a leader of the United States. And he made the United States and embarrassed them because he's their leader. Because they think they would never, ever do something like that. And he did something like they even wouldn't do. And he's held to a higher standard. So that is the difference. Let's discuss below. What do you think? JJ Legal, each one teach one.